Greetings to you and welcome to Relax Rhythms. Today we're going to engage with different types of rhythms in our environments and within ourselves. My name is Rebecca and I'm the lead music therapist for Creative Forces NEA Military Healing Arts Network with HJF.
And my name is Liz Freeman, and I'm the lead dance movement therapist with Creative Forces and HJF as well.
And throughout this experience, we're going to explore concepts of rhythm focused on internal physiological biorhythms, such as our heart rate, respiration, the flow of blood through our veins, external rhythms that impact us, rhythms of sound and environmental stimuli, music, the resonance that our bodies create when we walk, move, and interact individually and with others on this earth, and universal rhythms, vibrations and vibrotactile frequencies, both audible and inaudible. We're going to begin with a music-assisted breath-based grounding exercise that will help us come into this space and time. So find a comfortable position wherever you are. Maybe you're standing, sitting in a chair, or perhaps sitting or laying on the floor. Just come into a place of stillness, closing your eyes or softening your gaze, and taking a moment to just notice. Let's begin by feeling your whole body supported by the chair or surface below you. Your body supported, your feet firmly grounded or connected in some way to the floor beneath you. The floor beneath you supported by the foundation of the building. The foundation of the building supported by the ground outside. The ground outside connected to the center of the earth. And as you breathe in and exhale, the center of the earth supporting the ground outside. The ground outside supporting the foundation of the building. The foundation of the building supporting the floor. The floor supporting you or the chair beneath you. All supporting you. As we start to tune into our breath a little more intentionally here, finding the rhythm of our heart, breathing in and out of your heart as a centering space of containment and flow of your breath, your life force. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. We're going to do some intentional inhale and exhalation patterns, elongating the exhale as we go today. So our inhale will be a steady 4-beat count, and I'll guide you through elongated exhales as we go. So first, exhaling all the breath from your lungs, And preparing to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Last time in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Just taking a moment to breathe in and out at your own pace. And getting ready to extend the exhale to a 6 count. So we'll breathe in for 4, out for 6. So in preparation, exhaling all of the lung space you have filled, and breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last time in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and resume to a breathing pattern at your own pace as we prepare for our final cycle, breathing in for 4 and out for 8, a double exhale to inhale ratio. So in preparation, breathing all of the air, exhaling all of the air out of your lungs, and breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Push the rest of the breath out, 7, 8. And coming back and resuming your normal breath pattern. On those last exhales, you can also let out a sigh or an ah or any sound or force of breath that you like can also be helpful.
Thank you, Rebecca, for helping us ground our senses in some of these individual rhythms, such as heart rate and respiration, that we are all made up of. And we just like to draw our attention to these patterns, these rhythms, because they ultimately pattern our physiology and how we react to events and stressors. For example, that breath practice helped to engage our relaxation response in the body by extending our exhale to be longer than the inhale and increasing that parasympathetic tone in the body. So we spent a little bit of time really focusing on those internal factors. We also know that our experience is shaped by external factors, many of which are often outside of our immediate control. And sometimes it feels like the collective rhythm of the world gets disrupted. When that happens, it can bring up a lot. It can feel exciting. It can also feel scary. It can be anxiety provoking. And we all know it can certainly be exhausting. When we're in that relaxed, alert state, it allows us to be fully present, respond to life, enjoy life. But it can be hard for us to be present when things feel disrupted and chaotic, and certainly when we spend prolonged periods on virtual platforms. Um, However, that collective rhythm disruption, or just disruptions in general, can also provide us the opportunity to pause and more clearly examine our own individual rhythms and needs. our bodies, our internal experience provides us the opportunity to reground during uncertain times. Your body is a portal to the present moment, right? It exists in real time. So, breath, movement, sensation, these things can help to provide a safe and comforting home base to come back to within your body as needed. So, we're just going to take a little bit more time to focus internally. I'm just going to draw your attention back to the breath, perhaps closing your eyes. And this time we just want to focus a little bit more on the natural breath. So, not necessarily manipulating or changing your breath rate in any way, but just trying to allow your body to breathe on its own. Notice some details about that breath. Does it feel fast or slow? Does it feel deep or maybe a little more shallow? Does that breath feel smooth and easy? Or is it a little more tense and rigid? Does your breath have a steady rhythm to it? Or are you maybe holding it at some points? And then we're just going to take a few moments when you're ready to tune your focus more into the emotional landscape. What different things are you feeling today? So we're trying to notice maybe what emotions are up at the surface, or maybe what will slowly bubble up from down deep as we're focusing more internally. And we're not trying to criticize or place judgment on these different emotions or feelings, just because criticism can really quickly shut down our ability to truly be curious and be aware of what's going on. So we're just trying to focus without judgment on what is coming up. So we don't need to change these emotions. It's part of our really important human experience. We're just trying to recognize, and as they come up, let them move through you. So I'm going to pause as I speak. Rebecca's going to play a little bit of music for us, and just take that little chunk of time to focus on the breath, focus on your emotions. If emotions are coming up, maybe come back to the breath, especially if discomfort comes up. So just take a few moments to check in with the breath and with that emotional landscape. And so, as you've started to get a sense of your baseline for your breath in this moment, you're checking in with those emotions as they're arising. Really, as you're feeling that expansion and contraction of the lungs during this next little section of our experiential here, perhaps inviting that expansion and contraction into other areas of the body. So maybe just beginning with, gently lifting the chin as you look up and lowering back down as you exhale. And then maybe seeing if you want to let that grow, maybe letting other areas of the body begin to expand and contract with the breath, moving as much or as little feels good to you today. Everybody's going to be showing up with different injuries and aches and pains. So just really trying to notice what feels helpful to you in this moment, and just giving yourself that opportunity to take care of your breath and your body with this little mindful practice. And so, after we've done a little bit of this inward and outward movement, venturing out into the world as we inhale, take in oxygen, maybe moving back toward that safety, towards center, that home base as you exhale. We're just going to keep trying to tune into that impulse to move. So, as we're going to go through one more section here of this little body practice, just try to notice what feels good to you. Is your body wanting to move even more, wake up, bring in more sensation, maybe even move a little bit more vigorously? You could even get up and take as much space up in the room as you can. Or are you really just noticing more of an urge to slow down, perhaps even settle into stillness, really just focusing on the breath? But regardless, over this next little section of our offering today, just really move as much or as little as your body feels compelled to, and just keep noticing those physical sensations as they come up, noticing what thoughts are coming into your mind, any feelings that are arising, and just letting those move through you in whatever way feels most appropriate. And so, as we're just kind of getting ready to find some closure to this exploration of breath and movement, we're just going to encourage you to try to find a comforting movement or posture for yourself. Perhaps something that could be easily integrated into daily situations. It could be just as simple as resting your palms over your chest or your belly to help draw your focus to the breath. Perhaps you find yourself gently swaying or just finding some nice length, growing tall through the spine. Just trying to establish movements and patterns that remind ourselves to facilitate that connection between the mind and body. So I'm going to pause here briefly one more time. Rebecca's going to give us a little bit more of her beautiful music, and then just take this little time to try and figure out what might this movement be if I'm trying to establish something comforting and something helpful that I can integrate and use on my own. Maybe you already have something. If so, just take in the beautiful sounds she will be gifting our ears, and give yourself a few moments with this comforting posture or movement. So just remembering, hopefully, the takeaway is that practice of continuing to establish those movements, those patterns, those practices that help us connect the mind and the body, our emotions, our spirit, all of these different aspects of ourselves. These practices really allow us to take control of that stress response and increases our ability to build that resilience into our personal and professional lives. So just continue to check in with yourself and engage in those practices that help you to understand your own needs and strengthen your internal system. So, as to perhaps not become quite so overwhelmed by the collective rhythms of the sometimes uncertain times it feels like we are in. And just remember that your nervous system organizes your immune system. So, we really need to be able to balance out those times of high stress with periods of intentional rest and recovery when we can. And just please wrap up this experience today by practicing expressing some feelings of gratitude toward yourself because it's exactly what you've provided for yourself today by showing up here. So, thank you.
Thank you.